Gatorade, the big thirst quencher for active people.
Back in 1965, Robert Cade and a group of scientists at Florida University created a multi-billion-dollar industry by accident. They invented a drink with sodium, potassium, glucose and water for the Florida Gators. And they called this drink Cade's Cola. Then they called it Gatorade. And ever since then, a war has raged between these specially formulated sports drinks and good old-fashioned tap water.
Oh, hon, that's your 5th glass. You just better stop.
That's how it used to be. Not anymore. Now there's Gatorade.
Gatorade was presented as the alternative to this dangerous combination of hydrogen and oxygen.
Another glass, hon? Drink all you want. It's Gatorade.
Finally, a drink you can drink. But given that this costs roughly 3,000 times more than this, are these sports drinks really worth it? Well, Ray Graves of the Florida Gators certainly seemed to think so, and he gave some compelling reasons.
My Gators work up a big sweat and a big thirst on a football field. So a team of scientists developed something my hot, sweaty boys could drink during a ball game.
Hot, sweaty boys. Anyway, we still have these same reasons today. These drinks quench thirst,
Gatorade is thirst aid.
are associated with elite athletes,
These are the moments when they get the fuel to keep on driving.
and of course, are backed up by science.
1.2 billion seconds of Gatorade science, passion, and evolution.
Gatorade is the most researched sports drink in the world.
This is a laboratory.
That's right, these drinks were formulated in a lab, not some idiot cloud, which is why they can make claims like this.
A great tasting drink that's formulated to get into your system approximately 12 times faster than water.
Sorry, did you say 12 times faster?
Approximately 12 times faster than
Oh, approximately, right, because in the 80s when Quaker's Oats bought Gatorade, they did their own research and discovered that that figure of 12 times faster had to be slightly adjusted to 0 times faster. Sorry, approximately 0 times faster. Still though, the claim made in this ad is hard to refute.
You mean to tell me you don't give your husband Gatorade?
Of course, that was then and this is now. Science has come a long way. Kind of. See, a couple of years ago, the Centre for Evidence-Based Medicine at Oxford University and the British Medical Journal decided to look at 4 decades of sports science in order to
assess the extent and nature of claims regarding improved sports performance made by advertisers and the quality of the evidence on which these claims are based.
Anyway, as part of this study, they examined the claims made by sports drinks companies and assessed the research underpinning those claims. And what they found was basically the academic equivalent of this face. They found things like
poor quality surrogate outcomes
and
poorly designed research.
Also
small sample sizes.
In the end, concluding that
If you apply evidence-based methods, 40 years of sports drinks research does not seemingly add up to much, particularly when applying the results to the general public.
And there's a deeper, thornier issue here.
You're going to have to leave. And take your voice over and leave.
All right, let's go. Sorry, John.
Don't worry about it. I get banned from many, many libraries. Goodbye.
But there's another thornier problem here too, and it's one of independence. Another article in the British Medical Journal says that despite the fact that a large proportion of these studies into the efficacy of sports drinks were carried out by scientists with financial ties to sports drinks manufacturers, this conflict of interest is either not declared or not published, which is a bit of a problem really, and should drive home the level of moxie it took the American Beverage Association to make this complaint of the British Medical Journal.
It's important to note that the series of articles in the British Medical Journal exhibited a clear bias.
Come on, these guys are in the pockets of big evidence.
And this doesn't just apply to individual scientists. Entire institutions take money from sports drinks manufacturers. In fact, an exclusive checkout investigation can now reveal significant financial ties between the sports drink Gatorade and the Gatorade Sports Science Institute.
Congratulations on graduating from the Gatorade Sports Science Institute.
But other links aren't quite as clear. clear. The Australian Institute of Sport, for instance, who issue their own fluid intake guides, entered into a funding relationship with Gatorade back in 2004. Now, perspective is very important here, and taken from the perspective of trying very hard to not get sued, we feel compelled to point out that the AIS is extremely forthcoming about their relationship with Gatorade and that fluid intake guide is clearly marked as sponsored material. Is that gonna... Okay, great. Is he go? Okay. Yeah, see, on the other hand, though, if the AIS is going to release its own guide about when and if to consume sports drinks, you could certainly wonder if the information contained in that guide might be more convincing were it not sponsored by a company that sells sports drinks. That's something you could wonder. For their part, the AIS says that you can feel assured that their sponsorship deal does not affect their frank and fearless assessment of products. And you can feel even more assured by the fact that the Gatorade fact sheet has been earmarked for replacement. But here's the thing, a lot of people enjoy the taste of these drinks, which according to Powerade means...
A refreshing, palatable drink such as Powerade Isotonic will generally be consumed more readily, thereby further enhancing total fluid intake.
That's actually quite difficult to argue with, really, so if you enjoy the taste and don't mind paying a bit extra, then you know what? Go for it. Although, do you know why these drinks taste better than water? Because of the Wonka-esque levels of sugar in them. Sugar which, by the way, combined with the low pH in these drinks, can rot your teeth clean out of your head. Don't worry though, because Gatorade and Powerade have you covered here. Powerade on their website recommending that you minimise the contact time between your teeth and their drink. And in those AIS guidelines, remember the ones sponsored by Gatorade, they go as far to recommend using a squeezy bottle to direct the fluid toward the back of your mouth. Think on that for a second. The recommended delivery mechanism for these drinks is using a squeezy bottle to blast their sugar water directly down your gullet, bypassing the mouth completely, and this is for your own safety. Okay. Oh, and not for nothing, but if you are finding it difficult to keep hydrated because you're finding it hard to drink water in large quantities, then can I put it to you that you are either not very thirsty or you are a child. Oh, and if you are a child, then according to the manufacturers themselves, these drinks aren't even made for you. Oh, and according to those AIS guidelines, the ones again, remember, sponsored by Gatorade, the reported benefits of these drinks relate only to 60 minutes or more of high-intensity activity. High-intensity activity, presumably, like pulling a plow through a football field or playing basketball against a velociraptor. On the other hand, though, there are drinks that are far, far worse for you, so, you know, bear that in mind.
Oh, I'm so thirsty. Pass us some bleach?
So, look, if you're going to be engaging in high-intensity activity for 60 minutes or more, then fine, go for it. Just for God's sake, don't get this stuff on your teeth. But if you're not going to be engaging in high-intensity activity for 60 minutes or more, or you're a child, then there's really no reason to think that these drinks are going to enhance your performance in any way. Oh, except that's actually still quite a good argument.